Good morning. It's 6 a.m. on Memorial Day weekend, and I'm going for a bike ride. This one should be a quick one. It's actually going to be a long one. 110 miles down to Connecticut for my mom's 74th birthday. This will be my last chance probably to see her before I head off for Tour Divide. It's her birthday this weekend. There's a party tonight, so I figured it'd be a good excuse. And the fun part will be doing 110 miles back tomorrow, so 220 with an overnight. The good news is I've got a place to sleep, so I don't have to bring camping gear. So that's nice. All right, well, let's get at it. I'm back on the familiar ground of the Southern New England Trunkline Trail, soon to become the Airline Trail. About the route for today. So starting at Medfield, Mass, my house, and then ending either at my mom's house in Deep River, Connecticut, or the Log Cabin Restaurant in Clinton, Connecticut. It depends how fast I ride, whether I get a ride from one to the other. So I'm well motivated. The path will be about, I think it's 55% on dirt, 45% pavement. It's exactly the same path I took to get to Belltown for the kids race in the previous video. Only I'll turn off a little bit sooner and head down along the Connecticut River through Haddam. All right. So with that, time to put the head down, get some more miles in. Time to resupply. This will be my one stop for the ride. Path's really changed over the last couple of weeks. All this shrubbery is growing in and the whole thing's getting narrower. But for me, now that the leaves are out, we have this dappled sunlight, which is really hard for me to see things. Bunch of puddles that I've run through, rocks I've hit, because I just didn't see them in time. That's why I have a bike that can handle it. All right, 55 miles in. It's 1:15. So, doing the math, not going to make it for dinner. Or I should say, not going to make it to get a ride to dinner. Might have to ride to dinner and then back from dinner. Hey, how you doing? Hey. Bike packers were everywhere. I turned off the Airline Trail a little bit ago because massive paved descent, which is a blast. Tomorrow's going to be tough. I have no idea where I am. My GPS keeps telling me I'm not where we both think we are. But it's a fun road. Quick update. It's 5:05 p.m. Dinner is at 6. I just crossed the bridge from Haddam to Tylerville. But I'm on 154, which is almost literally the home stretch. Well, I just made it to my hometown of Deep River. It's at 5:20. So I have to make it the last couple miles down the road to my mom's house. Alright. We're here now to see if anyone waited for me. All right, quick update. So, made it here. Mom was waiting. Got cleaned up, went to the restaurant. We had a great time last night. And we went back to my sister's house, had some cake and ice cream, opened up some presents, and called it a night. So now it's back home we go. There's some massive hills I'm going to be doing this morning. So great training for Tour Divide, but not looking forward to it. It's spooky out this morning. Like we had some rain overnight. Everything was wet when I got up. I thought there was no way that Dunkin' Donuts in Deep River, Connecticut would be open at 6 a.m. on a Sunday. But they were, and I had to wait in line. So that was cool. I was just riding along. I pulled over for a second and a car pulled up next to me and I was like, what the hell's going on? And realized it was Mom. I had left pretty early and didn't get a chance to say goodbye, and she got up and came and tracked me down. Now I'm up here in Haddam at the Goodspeed Opera House in the Singing Bridge. So I navigate with the bike computer that I just follow on the map, and I get little prompts that tell me when it's time to turn, etc. So I left Mom's house this morning, didn't bother with that because I knew where I was going, and I knew when I got to the point where I didn't, I'd load it up. Turns out the route I had built to get home from Mom's is actually a copy of the one to get back to Mom's. So if I put it in the GPS, it tells me to turn back around. But I spent about 20 minutes trying to figure this thing out, and decided I just need to get going again. The sun's on my right, which means I'm going north. Airline Trail goes roughly east-west, so at some point I'll intersect it. But I'm kind of riding blind. All right, found the camp road I was on yesterday. Still don't know exactly where I am. I didn't know then yesterday. I know I've been here before, so that's good. All right, there's a four-wheeler up ahead. I'm letting him go. I think this may be Salmon Neck, which makes no sense because salmon don't have necks. But then there's Selden's Neck nearby, so I don't know, maybe Vermont has gaps, New Hampshire has notches, and Connecticut has necks. I don't know. This is a cool little spot, whatever it is. Alright, this is it. Found it. Yeehaw. I'm glad to be back on the trail. Took a detour and found a couple route one something or other that went to route something or other else. Both of them were 15-mile-an-hour roads with very little shoulder, and it was harrowing. So I am very glad to be seeing this. I'm now 4 hours and 20 minutes into the journey, and I've made it 23 miles. So at this rate, it's going to be a late night. So this is the amazing thing about the airline trail. We're probably 50, 60 feet up in the air on that side of the trail. And probably 30, 40 feet up on the trail on this side of the trail. Really beautiful views, if you can see through the trees. But it goes on for miles and miles and miles like this. It was all built back in the 1800s by hand or steam engines. I don't know. But it's pretty cool. At a road crossing, I just came across a group of 4 other bike packers. They are headed out to go to Massachusetts Brook State Campground, which is where I keep going to do all my training. 3 of them were on their first trip ever, and it's just really cool to meet other people doing the same thing. And then while we're sitting there, here comes 2 other bike packers going the opposite way to go to Hartford. Fortunately, the camera batteries were not charged, so couldn't get them to say hi. But if you guys are out there and you see this, then I hope you had a good night. And hope to get in contact. I have a hill to climb, so I'm going to put this camera down now. Shot. Something went into the spokes. Turns out the mount broke. So, well, not exactly the solution I would normally come up with, but I'm on the last leg to home. So, water ball goes in the rear rack, and we move on. Well, quick update: 78 miles in. It's 5:20 p.m. It's gonna be tough making it home before dark. But I've got onboard lights, so should be fine. Been a long day in the saddle, and I screwed up my nutrition, didn't drink enough, and then I drank too much and ate too much, and so I'm pulled over to let things settle down. All right, last push for home, hopefully. Yeah, long day, but almost there. Alright, made it to the end of the airline. 94 miles in the bag. Got about 10 or 12 to go. All roads, so it should go fast. Light's fading, so back at it. All right, it's 8:14. Coming up to the last intersection before the house. So I'm going to call it that I made it. Looks like the odometer is about to click 106, so that's 210 mixed terrain miles in 48 hours. Don't know how much climbing. Figured that out later. But 2 long days, but feels good to get. So for everyone that's watched this, thank you so much. Appreciate it. For more information on Tour Divide, head over to blindguybiking.org and maybe make a donation to help fighting blindness. Thanks.